Welcome back to Open. Our last guest, well, no, our last guest is the keeper of mysteries and a weaver of all sounds, taking you through life-altering learnings and the destruction of outdated realities. Yowza, yeah. Their music space enables the Black and fluid community to step into the realms of magic and possibility. Formerly known as Blue Jay, they transformed into a new. We welcome back to the studio the soulful and sultry James Blue.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Again. Rediscovered again.
Rediscovered, redefined, reborn. Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to do it unapologetically.
Unapologetically.
No settling.
No.
All right, so we went from Blue Jay to James Blue.
Absolutely.
What transitioned this?
You know, it's interesting because I look at Blue Jay and I see a younger version of myself. And then I look at James Blue and I see a more matured version of myself. And so I think I was moving away and moving closer to a space of authenticity. But Blue was still such a part of me.
Yes, of your identity. There's something with you and the color blue and the feeling of blue and
Blue's Clues was my favorite show as a child.
Oh, really?
Favorite show. Everything Blue's Clues.
Okay, so Blue's Clues was your influence?
Well, I could say it was definitely one of my clues.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that. We'll say
I
that
like
much.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
So, the last time we had you on, right? We talked about the blue jay, the bird, and now that you're James Blue and you have this new release that I got to experience called Stargate.
Thank you.
And I say experience because it's almost as if though you are reviving a certain era while operating in a different dimension.
Absolutely.
I know that's some deep stuff.
That's like the best way to put it.
Yeah.
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 I was listening, well, not listening, I was watching this documentary of Little Richard on HBO Max, and he mentioned something. He was like, where's the funk? What happened to the funk? And I ask myself that question all the time when I'm listening to mainstream music or pop music or just whatever. I question, where is that funk? Where is that grit that's very natural and raw and intoxicating?
Right.
So I like to say that I am bridging the gap.
Yeah. You're also bridging the gap of cultures, right? Because I know our previous conversation was heavy on meditation. We all know I'm a meditator, you're a meditator. And then there's the sound bathing that you're heavily into, and I could hear it influenced in your music. But I also hear another culture, maybe Indian or something. It's you guys are gonna be intrigued by this. I know I was. I was like, oh, all right, Stargate. Where we going? Where we going?
You know, and it's funny you say where are we going, because I feel like we're going everywhere. I mean, with Stargate, it is quite literal. It's a physical place, but it's metaphorically just a place of all possibilities, of all destinations, wherever your mind can take you. And so wherever I was internally, that's what translated sonically.
Right. And I also know that you released it on 1/11, at 1/11.
I
So you're
did.
very deliberate about everything, including the numbers.
Absolutely.
Which is the numbers of the angels.
Absolutely. I like to be intentional, and I like to pay attention to detail, down to the time and the release date. Some may call it a superstition, but it's actually just a way of life for me.
Right.
I just always have been, always have paid attention to the finer, minute details or the things that might just be whatever. Overlooked.
Yeah, that might be overlooked. Now,
Yeah.
you shared an experience with me,
Yes.
right? We don't have to go into every detail, but based
Okay.
on what you're saying regarding the moment of precision that influenced you,
Yeah.
it takes a person who is in a meditative state, who is paying attention to what I call the language of the world,
Yeah.
right? Because it is messaging that, we're all receiving, and it's up to the individual to catch it.
To catch it. Yeah.
So this experience of a sunset.
Yes. So I was in California on vacation, but I was also recording Stargate. And I was having an experience with my friends. And we were in Juca Valley around Joshua Tree, and that's a very spiritually buzzed area. And I was listening to a song titled Total Praise. And it was actually Kanye West's Sunday choir version. And at the end of that song, there's a repetition of the word amen. And right at the last amen, I mean right at the end of the end of the amen, the sun just completely eclipsed, the tippy top of the sun eclipsed behind the mountain right at the exact same timing. And I fell to my knees and I started crying because I was A, overwhelmed, B, I just couldn't believe I got to witness that. And it was just three, it was just the divine timing of it all. I had to play the music at the right time, and the sun had to be setting behind the mountain at the right time. And both of those things are so out of my control. So to experience that and to just take that in, it was overwhelming. It was a lot to process.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing it with our viewers. And I brought that
Absolutely.
into the conversation because I want them to understand how deliberate you are in designing your music,
Yeah.
as well as your lyrics,
Yeah.
right? And what you do is you create an experience so that there is a sense of reflection.
I like to
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, I know. And we're still like, we could do this for hours.
Always.
Yes, because that is the question. Like, what really matters?
What is this?
Right. Who are we?
Who are we?
Where are we?
Where
Why
are
did
we?
this happen?
All of the questions.
Right.
You know, I said something recently. I said I make music for feelers, thinkers, and questioners. And I truly do mean that. I like to build things that cause you to think, that cause you to question the question. Why did he ask me that? You know, I don't know. You tell me.
Right.
You know, I leave it up to you to experience.
Right. It's beautiful, beautiful. Now, before we go, we've been plugging Stargate all over the place, and you're going to sing Pyramid. So set up Pyramid before we go.
Pyramid House, wow. Okay, so Pyramid House is one of those random songs that
Okay.
made it onto the project. And surprisingly enough, that's a favorite. That's what I've been hearing. So that's why I'm singing it today. You're welcome, everyone. But it's just a song of freedom. It's talking about being in this home and being whatever freedom looks like to you, while being in your space of solitude. That's what Pyramid House is. And so I wanted to play with that sonically, lyrically. How can I continue to express or create this feeling of being free? And so that I did that with my words, of course, but then also just having things sort of dissipate into the air in the left hemisphere of the brain or the right hemisphere of the brain. And so I really love that song.
Yeah.
Sets you free.
Yeah, it sets you free symbolically, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
There we go.
everybody don't go anywhere. When we return, James Blue is going to perform for us after the break, and you don't want to miss it.